You're watching Breakfast Television on City TV. Today's City Council looking at prioritizing 4 mega projects in Calgary: an athletics field house, expanding Arts Commons, enlarging the BMO Centre at Stampede Park, and helping build a new arena event centre, which of course would be home to the Calgary Flames. Councillor Jeff Davison joining us this morning to talk about all of this. And Jeff is also the chair of the Council's Event Centre Assessment Committee. And okay, Jeff, right off the top, your priority, if you want to set the list from 1 to 4, what's number 1 for you?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Obviously I'm here to fight for the new event center, but I think at the end of the day, it's really not about one and done here. I think it's really about looking at how can we take these 4 mega projects, look at them in terms of what are the benefits, what are the costs, and figure out what kind of financial structure we can put around eventually getting to all of them.
So if we build the arena then, or the event center, arena event center, whatever you want to call it, that the other ones will fall into place from that?
Well, it's my belief that as a city, we've placed significant investment into the Victoria Park area anyways. I mean, you look at, we're doing the 5th Avenue underpass, we're extending 17th Avenue into the park. Things like that, we're investing a lot of money there. And so as we move forward, already moving with BMO, their expansion, it's really about how do you leverage that infrastructure dollar we've already spent and add on now the event center.
Okay, the arena, the event center, would it be like a kingpin part for the Rivers District, do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think it's, I tried to tell people, think about a shopping mall. When you're building a shopping mall, you always want that anchor tenant that will help attract other business. This is no different. I think as we move forward with looking at the economic impact study that we've seen and all the work that the committee has done, it's really become very clear that the event center itself is that catalyst for follow-on capital.
Are all on council on board with this, or?
Well, I think everybody's got their own priorities,
sure.
Right? And, I mean, that's the challenge in this. You want to make something work for everybody. But at the end of the day, we really have to look at it with some common sense and say, okay, timing is really the enemy here. And so as we look at putting all of these things together, what makes sense to invest in now, what's going to provide a significant return to Calgarians right now, and then how can we get down the road?
Okay. Cost-wise, has it been worked out yet with respect to how much the Calgary Flames organization would kick in and how much would come from taxpayers or levies and that type of thing?
No, we really haven't had those conversations yet. I mean, we've really had the high-level conversations in terms of what are the things that a partner would be looking for. The 2 things we've come back with in our talks with the Calgary Flames are really vision, number 1, and I believe through Calgary Municipal Land Corporation, we've really brought that vision together. People really can envision now what the Victoria Park will look like if this build-out happens. And 2 is really looking at, what would a proposal look like? And so, for my take, I think as a city, we want to be able to go into any kind of further discussion with a very strong take on, here's what we're prepared to do, and this is what we can do. This isn't, let's build a facility at all costs. It's really about, this is the financial structure we have, these are the tools we have in our toolbox, and that's where we're at.
Do you think it's possible, because I'm just thinking back to the original Calgary Next proposal from the Flames a couple of years ago in the West Village, is there any way, like was proposed back then, to roll a field house into an arena, into an event center, all in one big project?
I think that that option is probably not before us right yet. I think, we really have to figure out what do we want in a field house. Right now we have multiple conflicting visions in terms of what that looks like. Are we building sort of, a rec center for kids, if you will, all the way through to, would that include a covered stadium for the Stamps? So it's really about, I think, coming together with a vision there. I think no one will deny that there's a need for a field house. It's really about what's possible in building a field house and what can we do with that. In terms of putting them together,
yeah.
I think, the challenge in the Vic Park area is twofold. Number 1, it's a great place because we have a lot of private land that has not been built out, and we're really taking a bunch of parking lots, if you will, and building upon that. But we really don't have a ton of space to try and put a field house there at the same time.
Okay. And when it comes to the process, what's going to happen exactly today, and then what would be the next steps kind of down the road here?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the process today, I really have no expectations. I think at the end of the day, council's going to start looking at everything. We're going to say, are these things truly a priority? Which I believe they are. But it's really about working with, our city's financial team to say, okay, what makes sense right now? Let's look at all the information before us. And so when you consider the event center, we obviously have the economic impact study. But council really, as they say things like, well, maybe we need some more information on some of these, they also have to consider we have an economic strategy, we have a downtown strategy, We have a tourism strategy. We have all these strategies. It's really about taking all the information that we already know and saying, it's time to execute here.
It's time to make a decision.
Yeah.
Lay out the priorities and kind of move forward.
And move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Davison, Ward 6 Councillor, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Again, City Council discussing those 4 mega projects, the event center, the field house, of course, Arts Commons expansion, and the BMO Center upgrade as well. That's coming down today at City Hall. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And 726.